For more than a decade, viewers have started their mornings with Savannah Guthrie on Today, where she has become a steady, reassuring presence in American homes. With her calm delivery, thoughtful interviews, and moments of humor woven between serious headlines, she has built a reputation as both credible journalist and relatable mother. Audiences have watched her navigate career milestones, personal transitions, and the everyday realities of raising children while balancing national news. From major political interviews to light-hearted studio banter, Savannah's public image has always carried a sense of composure. She appears prepared, polished, and grounded. Yet, like many people in high-profile roles, the person seen on screen represents only part of the story. Behind the professional confidence was a woman shaped by private history, personal fears, and decisions made long before she ever stepped into a television studio. A sudden family crisis. In early February 2026, Savannah's carefully structured world shifted when her mother, Nancy, unexpectedly disappeared from her Tucson home. The situation quickly became a serious missing person investigation, drawing the attention of local authorities and national media alike. Savannah immediately traveled to Arizona to join her siblings, Annie and Cameron, transforming a rented house near their mother's neighborhood into a temporary family headquarters. The days were long and emotionally exhausting. Volunteers canvassed nearby desert areas, detectives followed every lead, and updates came in waves, some hopeful, others frustratingly inconclusive. For Savannah, who had reported on countless similar stories throughout her career, standing on the other side of such uncertainty was deeply unsettling. She was no longer asking questions for viewers. She was asking them for her own family, hoping for clarity and praying for her mother's safe return. An unexpected call. On the 10th morning of the search, just as exhaustion was settling heavily over the household, Savannah received a call that would reopen a long-closed chapter of her life. The caller was Elena Ramirez, someone from Savannah's teenage years, whom she had not publicly acknowledged in decades. Elena's voice was steady but urgent, expressing concern about Nancy and suggesting that there were elements of Savannah's past worth discussing in light of the current crisis. The conversation did not involve accusations or dramatic claims, but it stirred emotions Savannah had worked hard to compartmentalize. Hearing Elena's name again felt like stepping back in time. It reminded her of a version of herself that had existed before fame, before marriage, and before the world knew her as a national journalist. The call did not expose wrongdoing. It exposed memory, vulnerability, and unfinished conversations. Growing up with strength and expectations. Savannah's childhood in Tucson was shaped by resilience and close family bonds. After her father's passing when she was 16, her mother became the emotional foundation of the household. Nancy emphasized perseverance, faith, and excellence. She encouraged her children to remain strong in the face of adversity and to pursue meaningful accomplishments. Savannah responded by excelling academically and socially, determined to make her mother proud. Yet adolescence often carries questions that do not fit neatly into family expectations. Savannah admired her mother's strength, but she sometimes felt pressure to live up to an ideal that left little room for uncertainty. She wanted independence and space to explore who she was becoming. The love within the household was undeniable, but so was the quiet expectation to succeed without faltering. That dynamic shaped many of the choices Savannah would later make about what to share and what to keep private. A formative relationship. During her late teenage years, Savannah met Elena through a local youth arts group that encouraged creative expression and open dialogue. Elena was confident, artistic, and deeply engaged in community conversations. Their friendship quickly became significant, offering Savannah a safe space to express emotions and ideas she sometimes struggled to articulate elsewhere. Over time, their bond developed into a meaningful romantic relationship. For Savannah, it was both affirming and transformative. She was discovering not only her ambitions, but also her identity. In a conservative environment and within a family still navigating grief, Savannah chose to keep this relationship private. The decision was rooted less in shame and more in uncertainty. She was young, still learning about herself, and unsure how her family would interpret something so personal. Privacy felt safer than potential misunderstanding, so she quietly carried that chapter forward on her own, balancing two worlds. As Savannah moved through college, law school, and eventually into journalism, she learned how to separate aspects of her life with careful discipline. Professionally, she thrived, moving from local news roles to larger markets before ultimately joining NBC. Personally, she maintained selective privacy about her early relationship with Elena and the self-discovery it represented. Over time, distance and life changes shifted their connection, yet the emotional imprint remained. Savannah did not view herself as leading a dishonest life. Instead, she believed she was protecting her family from complexities she feared might cause confusion or disappointment. But maintaining boundaries around such a meaningful part of her past required energy. Each public success reinforced the image of the accomplished daughter, while privately she wondered how her mother might have responded to the full story of her growth and experiences. Telling the truth. Elena's call during Nancy's disappearance made continued silence feel impossible. That afternoon, Savannah gathered Annie and Cameron and shared the truth about her teenage relationship and the years she had kept it private. The conversation was emotional, but grounded in love. Her siblings were surprised, even momentarily hurt, that she had carried something so significant alone. Savannah explained that she had feared adding strain to a family already tested by loss and expectation. She had worried that sharing too much too soon might feel like another burden. As the discussion unfolded, understanding gradually replaced shock. Annie and Cameron recognized that their sister's silence had not been deception for its own sake. It had been self-protection. The honesty did not solve their mother's disappearance, but it strengthened their bond during a time when unity mattered most. Re-examining the past authorities explored every possible lead regarding Nancy's case, including questions raised by Elena's call. Ultimately, no credible evidence connected Savannah's teenage activism or personal relationships to her mother's disappearance. The speculation that an old grievance might have resurfaced proved unfounded. Instead, the deeper impact of the call was emotional rather than investigative. Elena later traveled to Tucson to answer questions and offer support, demonstrating transparency and cooperation. Her presence underscored that this story was not about scandal, but about the complexity of identity. Savannah realized that the parts of herself she had once hidden were not liabilities. They were pieces of her growth, shaping her empathy and perspective as a journalist and mother. Acknowledging them openly allowed her to release years of quiet tension she had never fully addressed. Strength redefined. During quiet evenings in Arizona, Savannah reflected on her mother's teachings about resilience. Nancy had modeled endurance, encouraging her children to persevere through hardship. Yet Savannah began to see that true strength also includes vulnerability. Hiding aspects of oneself to maintain an image can create distance, even in loving families. She found herself imagining conversations she wished she had initiated earlier, honest discussions about identity, independence, and fear. The ongoing search for her mother remained at the forefront of her mind, but internally she was also navigating reconciliation with her younger self. The experience reminded her that authenticity does not weaken family bonds, it deepens them. If anything, speaking openly might have brought understanding rather than disappointment. That realization softened long-held anxieties and allowed compassion to replace regret. Moving forward whole. As the investigation continued and the family leaned on community support, Savannah emerged from the crisis changed but steadier. She remained the accomplished journalist viewers recognized, yet she no longer felt compelled to divide her history into acceptable and hidden sections. Her siblings' acceptance reaffirmed that love can withstand complexity. Elena returned home with mutual respect and gratitude between them, closing a chapter that had once felt unfinished. Whatever the ultimate outcome of the search for Nancy, one lesson became clear. Living fully requires integration, not separation. Savannah was not only the poised anchor from television screens, she was also the thoughtful teenager who once searched for identity in quiet spaces. Embracing both versions allowed her to stand taller, not because she was unbreakable, but because she was finally whole.